Why do we struggle to focus even when we know what we should be doing? Is deep work really the solution or just another productivity buzzword? And how do we actually balance deep and meaningful work with all the emails, meetings and admin tasks that never go away? In this video, I'll show you how to stop drowning in distraction, make time for what really matters, and structure your day for focus and flexibility. Let's start with the basics. Deep work is when you work on cognitively demanding tasks without distraction. This concept was made popular by Cal Newport in his book Deep Work: Rules for Focused Success in a Distracted World. He argues that deep work is a superpower in our highly distracted world and is essential for producing high-value results. Shallow work, on the other side, consists of tasks that don't require much cognitive effort. Emails, meetings, responding to messages, administrative work in general. These tasks are necessary, but they don't push you forward in a meaningful way. Both are essential, but deep work is where real progress happens. The problem? Deep work is hard, and our world is built for shallow work. Every time you switch tasks, your brain needs time to recalibrate. Studies show it can take up to 23 minutes to fully regain focus after switching a task. That is why constantly bouncing between deep work and shallow work kills productivity. The solution? Batch similar tasks together. The book Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy emphasizes tackling the hardest and most important task first. This aligns with deep work principles. Focus on what matters without distraction. Then deal with smaller tasks. I'll get back to that later, providing a generic work schedule that you should consider when planning your workday. Research shows that our peak focus hours happen in the morning or early in the day when our energy is the highest. For most people, this is the first 3 to 4 hours after waking up. So if possible, schedule deep work sessions during this window. And there are additional reasons for that. First, obviously your energy level is the highest after you had a restful sleep. Second, when you start early in the morning with your first deep work session, there is most likely nobody else awake or working, or they are doing their first deep work sessions themselves. So no distraction for you. Third, when you already accomplished a tough task early in the morning, you automatically feel a sense of accomplishment and motivated for the rest of the day, making it easier to stay productive and tackle the rest of the day's tasks with confidence. You'll feel like Hulk. Studies show that even top performers can only do about 4 hours of deep work per day. And if you are just starting, even 90 minutes is a fantastic achievement. Now imagine this. You've already crushed those 90 minutes before 10 a.m. How would you feel? Knowing you've already tackled the hardest, most important task of the day. You'd feel unstoppable, like you've already won the day. That is the power of front-loading deep work into your morning. Don't get me wrong, the goal is not to force yourself into 8-hour deep work sessions. It's to maximize the few hours where deep work focus is possible. Minimize distractions, put your phone in another room, use website blockers, and inform people you are not available. Optimize your space. Have a clean workspace with only the things you need. Set a start and end time. Don't leave it open-ended. A defined time frame makes it easier to commit. A major reason why people struggle with deep work is the fear of missing out. What if you miss an important message? What if something urgent happened? This fear of missing out, or sometimes even the fear of disaster, which is basically the anxiety that you would miss something catastrophic, leads to addiction to notifications, social media, and constant task switching. I do it myself all the time. As I work in sales, I always think that an urgent Teams message or email could be in my inbox, which requires an immediate response. But the truth is, there is rarely a situation occurring when an immediate response is necessary, at least for office workers like myself. Set clear offline hours. Inform people when you are unavailable. Create an emergency workaround. If something truly urgent happens, establish a way for people to reach you. For example, for work, instead of texting you, they can give you a Teams call and you just muted the notification for messages. And for your private life, you can put your important contacts like mother, father, husband, wife, grandparents, children to that emergency list so their calls or messages get through the mute mode on your phone. After a while, you will realize that most things can wait. Once you accept that nothing will explode in 90 minutes, deep work becomes way more easier. Use the Pomodoro technique, but bigger. Instead of 25-minute sprints, try 90 minutes of deep work sessions. Work in cycles. 90 minutes of deep work followed by a break with light and shallow tasks. Use a ritual. Start each session the same way. This could be making coffee, playing a certain song, or writing down your goals for this 90-minute session. And end with reflection. Spend 5 minutes reviewing what you accomplished and with planning the next step. Shallow work isn't the enemy. It's necessary for communication, administration, and collaboration. The key is to control when you do shallow work instead of letting it control you. Time block shallow work. Set aside specific periods for emails, meetings, and admin work. Use it for recovery. After deep work, do some shallow tasks to recharge before the next deep session. Batch similar tasks. Instead of checking emails all day, handle them in 2 dedicated slots. And recognize its value. Shallow work helps maintain relationships, process ideas, and support creative deep work. So how does a well-balanced day look like? Here is an example schedule with 2 deep work sessions. When you start at 8 a.m., do from 8 a.m. until 9:30 a.m. your first deep work session, like writing, coding, creating. From 9:30 to 10, have a break and do some shallow work, like emails, like quick responses to messages. From 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., try to do your second deep work session if you are already experienced. And with that, you already had 2 deep work sessions until the noontime. From 11:30 a.m. until 1 p.m. have your lunch and some light tasks like administrative work. The rest of the day, you have time for messages, emails, and also your meetings. What is important, try to batch them together to stay productive even with your shallow work. Block the last 30 to 20 minutes of your workday to reflect and also to plan your next day. So what's the key takeaway here? Deep work first, shallow work second. Protect your best hours and let shallow work fill in the gaps. Deep work is where the magic happens, but shallow work keeps things running. Instead of fighting distraction, work with them. Structure your day so deep work gets the priority it deserves, and you'll be amazed at how much more you accomplish. If you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. When do you feel the most focused during the day? And let's start a conversation.